Okay, so we're on. Hello, everybody on EDU for 540, semester 2, 2017, Learning, Teaching, Theory and Practice. And I'm here with Tulsi, and we're going to chat about the subject and assignments that are coming up. So, off you go.
Hello.
What would you like to ask?
Firstly, I would ask you about all the theories and all the practices which we are going to have in this one.
Yeah.
And secondly, the assignment 2.
So let's have a look at the assignments. Now that one, have you handed that in?
I'm working on it, but I haven't still finished it.
But it's due on the 1st of October.
Yes, I'm late.
Oh dear. Now this could be a problem, but we'll work on it. So, comparative literature review.
Yeah.
So tell me what you've done on that.
So I have already taken 3 of the educational thinkers. One of them is A.S. Neil.
Yes.
And the other one is Vygotsky, and the third one is Piaget.
Piaget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. Good.
So A.S. Neil has worked on Summer Hill School.
Sure.
In London, and his educational theories basically are those in which he allows children to play and learn on their own without any boundaries.
Yeah.
And so he says, like a classroom where kids are learning according to the needs of adult ones or the old ones. It's not a good one. And then.
Yeah. But before you leave that, so when can you press the submit button?
Probably tomorrow or on next day. Yeah. Sorry.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah.
I really think you need to press it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to be in a mess.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. Because I had been working on it, but I couldn't finish it.
Sure. Well, okay, get that to us tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it's overdue, I really can't talk about it much more, and the other students will have submitted, so it won't help them.
Yeah.
So basically, whatever you've done, I would maybe spend 10-15 minutes on it, tidy it up, and just submit it.
Okay.
So the next one, the interactive teaching module.
Yeah.
Now, that's due in beginning of November.
Both of the assignments are on.
Yeah. So have you started looking at that yet?
Not yet.
Okay, the interactive teaching module. So you know there's another Moodle shell.
Yeah. So that's interactive one.
Yeah. And have you looked there?
Yeah, I already. So
okay. So for that one, what I'm expecting, hoping for. Let me just go and find that.
Everyone of us one page in here.
Yeah, you've got your own page. So let's have a look. It's called EDU540 Additional.
Okay.
No, that's the wrong one.
Interactive teaching.
There should be 2 additionals. Yeah, this is the one. EDU540 Additional.
Yeah. And
this is 40%, 2,500 words equivalent.
Yeah.
And it's due November. Yeah. So you've got this page from Anita, who's, I don't know whether you see it, I think you probably do. Yeah, you do. She basically put up lesson plans. Now, I would argue that's not the best.
Yeah.
If you go up here and you turn on the editing,
yes.
You know about that? You turn on editing because on this particular Moodle, you are allowed to edit it. That's the whole point.
Okay.
It's the only Moodle shell that you can edit.
Okay.
Because I've set you up as a teacher.
All right.
So you go in there and at the end of each section now, Mary's done some work. And if she wants to, she can go into edit and change what she's already done. And here you are. So you basically can add, under the add resources, you can add all sorts of material, which is digital, a file, a folder, a label. You can write information on the screen, or a URL or a page of text. So that's the left-hand button, and the right-hand button is to add an activity. Now, I suspect you should be adding lessons. Not in the way that Anita did, but it's a special software that enables you to compose lessons on the screen. So, and then you put various settings on it like that, right? So work through. I've gone and clicked on Taylor's page, which is a mistake. Sorry, Taylor. I meant to click on Tulsi. So adding lessons is a good thing. And a quiz, maybe a good thing. And then assignments. I wouldn't worry about attendance. I wouldn't worry about choice. Chat might be a good thing to set up. Glossary might be a good thing. And you'll notice that Mary has already set up a glossary, and she's set up a forum. So the whole point of this is to be an experiment, and there's no right, there's no wrong. The thing you've got to get in your head is imagine that your school students will be accessing this, and they will be at home, not necessarily in the school at the time, and they're the whole idea is that you've got to teach through the screen rather than teach from you as a person. So that's the challenge. Okay, it's not easy, but it makes, because when you're a teacher, this is what you'll have to do. So this is real world trial. Okay, so let me go back to the question. So EDU540, 540, here we are. And the question, so it says working in the TES online forum groups, forget it. That's really not helpful. Select a focus, that's key. From year 7 to 12 syllabus. I would use English, since you're doing English. Use something that, or if you wanted to, you could look up a maths syllabus, which you're going to do later for your subjects. So choose a syllabus that's relevant to you, and if it's stage 4 and 5, that's years 7 to 10. Or if it's stage 6, that's year 11 to 12. So I would choose probably stage 4 and 5. 4 to 5, and you've got to apply your understanding of student learning theory, content, etc., to the teaching of this module. You're giving the students a module to teach. You're getting them to learn it via the internet. So your piece of work has got to reflect an appreciation for Aboriginal and Torres Strait and the backgrounds. So, you know, if all your work doesn't acknowledge them, I'm afraid you're going to get marked down. So whatever you put on this interactive page has got to be reflective of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. And it says teach the series of lessons to a small group at the specified stage. Well, yes, online. make notes, 500 words, and you share that with us on the forum. Your reflections on the success or lack of in this teaching. Summarize the experience, 500 words to critique the application, blah, 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 blah. So it talks about 5 lessons being what is expected. But you see here this PDF that says new interactive teaching module, group and individual.
Yes.
You've really got to read that very carefully. Have you read that yet?
Not very carefully, but I have read that.
You have?
The assignment,
yeah. It's because what these notes do is they, and it's still recording, these notes are designed to explain the question, because the question was written by a committee and isn't very helpful. So these notes on that assignment very important. So create an interactive teaching module, blah, blah, blah. So I would start there in your thinking and then read all the other material here that you've got as examples. All right? And then when you're finished, you are making a submission to Turnitin as well, which will be the 500 words reflections that you're doing, as well as me having the access to the other page, which I'll be able to assess what you've created.
So this should be a 500 word here in the
Turnitin. The way it looks to me is write up a short reflection, which is 500 words. And also, I think there's 2 lots of 500 words. That's not very clear. Write a short. So let me go through this again. In creating this teaching module, apply your understanding of student learning theory, content, and direct teaching strategies. Blah, 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 blah. In particular, it should demonstrate a broad knowledge of the understanding of the impact of culture, blah, 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 blah. Right. So that first paragraph of those notes is all about the interactive teaching module. So your creation of the interactive teaching module. And then it says, write a short reflection, and it doesn't say here how many words, on your creative experience. I really hated using the Moodle, or I loved it, it was wonderful, give me more. You know, it made me feel like a real teacher. You know, whatever, something to the use, creative experience and critique the use of, it says here, Christian worldview, faith-based or ethos-orientated, whatever is relevant to you, to the planning and potential execution of your teaching module. So what that reflection is asking you to do is think about, okay, you've done this teaching module of maths, for example. How have I demonstrated a faith-based perspective? Which is incredibly hard, but you've got to try. So it's not just teaching maths, it's why you teach maths, in the way you teach maths. And what's the point of it? And that's got to come from your philosophy of education. Your interactive teaching module for group and individual will be web-based, well, because it's on there, and link any necessary password. Well, you don't need to actually, because it's a, so you're putting a Word document up into Turnitin, but you don't actually need to give any reference to the interactive teaching module because I can see it anyway. So that's not really an issue. Yes? Good. So I think, and you've got a bit of time for that, so until you actually, but I would love you, just as Mary's put a forum in there, I would love you to, you can use it, or even use the forum on our normal Moodle page, That would be really good if you did. In here, let's have a see who's written forum posts. I have, and Mary Dixon has, and I have, and that's it. So you haven't.
Yeah.
So if you want to, and I'd love you to use this forum, to add a new discussion topic, and off you go, and you've got some thoughts about the interactive teaching module, you say so, you write about it, ask the questions, what have others done about this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be long, just short and sweet, and then I and others can reply to it. Okay? Good. All right. So. Moving on from the interactive teaching module then to the unit of work. That's a biggie. I know it's only 1,800 words, but it's still a lot of work. The unit of work and reflection. So you've got to write, this is a more conventional, so it's not interactive on the internet. It's a straightforward lesson, unit of work. So I would encourage everybody to Google and use the EdInfo page for examples of units of work. So if you've not written units of work yet, then go straight through EdInfo and any other of your Moodle pages that you're in for examples of units of work. They are typically landscape, they're tables, table format, and there's no harm in borrowing material from other sources as long as you reference it. So you can't just find a beautiful unit of work on the internet and copy and paste it for me unless you say where it's come from. Okay? So that's what you've got to do for that. And the point is that you're writing a unit of work so that you can go off and teach from it when you're a teacher. So there's no point in, I think, in you writing up something that's only going to be used for us here at Alpha Crucis. It's got to be of use to you across your career. And again, when you need questions about that, put your questions on the news forum. Okay. Now, do you have any other questions about EDU540? And I'll shut up because I've done too much talking. You okay?
Yes.
So has that been helpful?
That's quite helpful.
Sure?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, folks, I'll say goodbye to all of you and we will be in touch. And don't forget to use the news forum. Important. Don't forget. And also, don't forget to come tomorrow, Friday the 6th of October, for the STEM PD Day. Look forward to seeing you.